Hi, this is Jay Harwood with a special edition of Amazing Nuts Conversation. Proud to have sitting in my right Jose Vasquez, retired but at 108 in Queens Police.
Yes, 108 in the 104 precinct.
And president of the police team. And Chris Torres, Engine 22.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, August 10th, 25th annual Battle of the Badges, Police and Firemen, 12-12. Who's going to win?
Oh, we are.
Fire department's got it.
I mean, how much rivalry is between, you read in the papers, your team is butting on the field. The rivalry is that intense?
It's very intense.
Like Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, Yankees?
Oh, yeah. So Chris can tell you, it's once we get between those lines, it's our Super Bowl. It's our Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, absolutely. Off the field, we're all very familiar with each other. A lot of us played high school, college, and Federation Bowl together. But once the game starts, none of that matters. It's my opinion, the longest running natural rivalry in the history of New York City.
Really?
Without a doubt.
Chris, you're a pitcher now. You put the game 3-4 innings. How long do you think you've been pitching?
As long as I can, God willing. So I think the plan right now is for me to come out of the pen and do my job from there.
And you're the manager, basically, in present?
No, I don't. So I stopped managing in 2017,
Right.
just became solely the team president, which is mostly doing the administrative stuff that no one likes to do. But I've been around almost 30 years with the ball club. So,
how do you guys recruit the team? I mean, how many guys are on the team? How do you go about recruiting the guys who play? You guys have big schedules. I didn't realize it. I mean,
so we, the police department, we hold tryouts every single year. We try our best to get kids freshly out of the academy who just finished playing college baseball or were playing minor league ball and decided that they wanted to join the police department. So we hold tryouts every year, and our roster is anywhere between 25 to 30 guys.
how about you, Chris?
Yeah, it's about the same, about 25 to 30. And we reach out to a lot of the new candidates and the probies once they're in the academy. And much like these guys, we hold tryouts for a few weeks before the start of the season and really evaluate the talent level from there.
I mean, everybody doesn't play, right? It's not like you get a uniform on the team. You got to make the team, right? It's not.
Correct. You got to make the team.
Talent plays.
Have any of you guys had any interaction? David Wright is commissioner of the game, Battle of the Badges game, and the perfect guy to do this. I mean, his father, Ron, was a police chief down in Norfolk, and he went to practically every firehouse on 9/11 from 2004 to 18. The perfect guy, I'm sure you guys enjoy meeting him. What have you guys heard about David?
Nothing but great things, all be told. Knowing that his father was a police officer down south and what he's done for the first responder community in New York City, sounds like a great guy.
Let me tell you this. I was the PR guy here for 38 years. I worked with David. Anytime a policeman or fireman was injured, we would get a call. He's the first guy to make a call, make a visit. Unlike some players, it wasn't a PR thing. He did it behind the scenes. He didn't want the attention, and that's why, he's back in our fold. He's doing some appearances, and this is the perfect thing for him because he always said, fire and police were the real heroes, not the players. I think you'll really enjoy, meeting him. So you guys raise a lot of money. Like last year, I think $82,000.
Correct.
And it's divided up to a couple of different charities you recommend. Who picks out the charities? Your bosses do? Or?
Well, on the NYPD, I do. I have myself as the president. I have a vice president, and we discuss what charities we want to do. It's always most of the time the history of these games being played. The NYPD has always given to the PBA Widows and Children's Fund, but I wanted to expand it. Right. So last year we included the Children's Hospital at Montefiore, and this year we want to do a nonprofit organization called South Fork United, which travels to South America and all over the country to donate soccer equipment, baseball equipment to families in need.
Yeah, much like these guys, the leadership on a team ultimately decides which charities to donate to. And this year we're going to be donating to the New York City Burn Center and the UFA Widows Fund. Obviously, what we do for a living comes with a couple of inherent risks. Burns being the most visible one.
Right.
So for us, that makes the most sense, as well as taking care of the families of our fallen brothers and sisters.
I've been with the Mets 44 years now. Probably one of the finest people I've ever worked with is Rusty Staub. He started the Widows
Yes.
Fund. I mean, what a great gentleman he was.
Yeah,
he made
he was.
millions, and this is before 9/11. A relative of his was a policeman killed in New Orleans, and he just did everything. I mean, millions upon millions upon millions of dollars.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of people don't know that, but Rusty was we owe a lot to Rusty
oh my
Staub.
God! I mean, when
He was, and I've never got to meet him, but I heard he was a gentleman.
I mean, he was the best. I mean,
And
he never stopped giving, and he would have gotten a big kick out of this game. But I mean, he just started a charity before nine, and he, when 9/11 happened, through Rusty's leadership, our players donated a day's salary to the Widows and Children's Fund. I mean, he kept going and going and going. He worked with food drives and everything. I mean, one of the best. I mean, he would have gotten such a kick at this game. Tell me about how many games you play a year. I really didn't think you had so big of a schedule.
We play about 60 to 65 games a season. We play in a regular college level league, and then we also travel the country. In March, we went down to Colombia to play some spring training games and do some charity work, do some baseball clinics. And both teams are going to Boston for the Police Fire World Series in Boston. And then the last tournament of the year, we're actually going to go to Mesa, Arizona, and play in the minor league facility down there.
Have any guys from your team that ever got signed? Oh, they can't get signed because they're police and firemen.
Signed off the field, and not on our side, and as long as I can remember.
Yeah, no. I mean, we've had guys that did play pro ball, played minor league. We've had players on both sides who
Absolutely.
played in major league organizations. And then joined the police and fire department. So we've had our share.
Is there any side bets going on?
None that we can mention. No, honestly, this game is played for pride more than anything else. Side bets are great, but nobody wants to lose it, especially at Citi Field.
Right.
People don't realize that, first of all, a lot of people for a while didn't realize that each department had a baseball team, and then they come out and see us play, and they actually say, hey, these guys can play ball, and then they don't realize that both teams hate losing. It leaves a sour taste in your mouth for the whole offseason, and we can't wait to get back on the field to try to reverse the fortune.
Last year, the police won 9-6.
Yes.
Yes, and that's something that's probably been our biggest motivator for the year.
Right.
Losing on a big stage is something no one wants to do. So this year there's definitely a little bit more motivation and a little more fire in our tank.
How many workouts do you have? Do you guys work out a lot, practice before the game, or?
So we're still in the middle of our season. We're about to start our playoffs. So, between these guys working their regular 8-hour shifts plus doing overtime and playing games, we really don't even have time to practice.
Right.
So, but it's good. We normally play league games leading into the big game, so it's not like we go in there flat.
Same here, not too dissimilar with us. We're actually in the midst of a playoff push right now. And again, like Jose said, coming off of our night shifts or our 24-hour shifts, we do try to get some workouts in the days leading up to the game, but the best practice we can do is playing live ball.
Playing in Citi Field is a big plus. But, hopefully we'll get over the $100,000 mark in this year, and played in the Major League Stadium. Before, Todd Zeal's going to be at the game too.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Because he's a guy who likes to give. He goes to fire police stations on his own, but he wanted to be part of it, so he's going to be there greeting people and stuff like that.
That's awesome. That's
great.
great.
We're giving out. I guess part of the concessions and the tickets go to the charities, and they're giving out giveaways for the fans during the game. So it could be like a pep talk, a Newt Rockney thing before.
There always is.
There
always is. It's usually
You wouldn't want for the Gipper?
something like that. Maybe a little bit more explicit, but something like that. And it usually happens in the past. It's been in the tunnel just before we come out onto the field for first pitch.
Well, is there a streak going? No, it's 12-12. Is there one-sided, one way? Is it win one, lose one, win one, lose one?
It's almost like we're back and forth every year.
It's I think maybe the longest streak has been like 3 in a row on both sides.
Yeah, something like that.
But it's always, it's always it seems like it's always a tight game.
There hasn't been
or-
one game that's been an absolute blowout from the word go. They've been all
Was
competitive
there one
games.
dramatic win, bottom of the eighth, 2-run home with 1 out? Was there any dramatic win?
I don't know if in the charity games, I don't think it's happened.
No.
I know because, again, I've been on the team almost 30 years, and we happen to be playing in the same league one year. I think this is before
This
Chris's
is
time.
definitely before my time.
And we were both teams were in the championship, and we won the championship
Right.
on a walk-off home run.
Really?
Yeah, so that was probably the only time I remember something like that. But the games that we play at MCU Park, and those games they've been tight games, but no dramatic endings.
Yeah.
Hey, before I forget, Ford Dealers is a sponsor of the game. They give me $10,000 to the charities. That helps.
Oh, sure.
That's
it
awesome.
does.
And we're extremely appreciative of that.
Yeah,
Sure
to
it
do
does.
that. You guys, you told me, Jose, you were around 9/11. You were not on duty.
No, I've been on the job 9 years. I was a kid when 9/11 happened.
One of my proudest moments at being with the Mets was what the team did for 9/11. To a man, we went to ground zero, the fire police stations, and as we're getting in August, what are we get closer to? So it's 22 years, right? 22 years. Does it seem hard to believe it's 22 years?
It does because I remember it like it was yesterday. So every year that passes, people think that, it makes it easier, but it really doesn't. I mean, it's still a fresh thought in your mind. I still remember, exactly the moments leading to the incident that morning. It was a beautiful sunny day on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was actually an election day that day.
Yeah.
So even 22 years later, I still remember it like it was yesterday.
You have any memories? I know you're probably too young, Chris.
I was a freshman in high school, and I could tell you exactly what I was doing and where I was. My firehouse lost 9 guys, and I've worked with firemen who lost parents, and it's the memory of the day is still with them, and the day doesn't seem to get easier for them.
You know what bothers me? Bothers is not the right word. Is year by year, the coverage in the papers doesn't seem to be. My imagination is kind of like it's blown off. Maybe I'm not saying it right. You know what I'm trying to say? It's not. It doesn't seem to command the respect it deserves. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But
It's been marginalized in the media a little bit, especially as you get further away from the date. It doesn't
Yeah.
sell papers, and that's the
Yeah,
unfortunate
no,
part.
you're right. I mean, we had the 20th anniversary of the game. We had a nice game with the Yankees.
I was here for that. That
And
was a
listen,
great game.
People shouldn't forget. It really bothers me in a way that, we get further and further away that they forget what happened that day, how many lives were changed, and it just, I don't know. Maybe it's just a natural thing. I was a big John Kennedy guy growing up in college, so he in '63, so that's 60 years. There used to be big stuff in the papers every year. Now there's nothing anymore. So what's going to be you guys' marching orders? Is there one thing you're going to tell your troops before?
I don't give the rah-rah speeches anymore, but they know that I'm not good with losing. My manager is, I would say, a very low-key, humble person, so
Right.
he's not a rah-rah guy. But they know what they want to do. They don't need any pep talks. They're going to be up for this game, and they know, from first pitch to the last pitch, they're going to give it, that they're all to try to come up.
How about you,
victorious.
Chris?
Absolutely. I'm not the guy who gives a speech, but every year, the second we find out that we're playing the Cops anywhere, the date on the calendar is circled. So the day of, we are extremely focused and ready to handle business. And as a team, we hate losing more than we like winning. And
Forgive me for
the
laughing.
ultimate speech is just win, baby, win.
Yeah. How many different houses and stations are represented on your team? Is that a fair?
A lot.
A lot?
On our end, a lot. We have,
Yeah.
on our team, all 5 boroughs of the city are represented on the baseball team.
26 guys on the roster, and I could tell you all 26 guys work in different commands.
But it's hard to, like you say, you guys
Oh,
are
it's
like you
very
have,
hard.
you
Very
don't
hard.
have, you have day jobs, right? You're
Yeah.
police and firemen. It's not like you have,
100%. A lot of our guys get together on their own time with a couple of other guys. It may be groups of 3 or 4, but they'll hit together, they'll throw together, and then when we can, especially on the days leading up to the game. We will get together full team practice, and so we do our best to get our work in when we can.
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to the game, and like I said, the Mets, proud to say we've had a great relationship, both the fire and the police department, for as long as I've been here, and I'm glad this game is getting some attention. I think you'll get a kick out of meeting David Wright. He'll add a lot to the game. He appreciates what the game is about, you know, and he's going to go back and forth to each dugout, spend time with each team. I see Todd will be here. We have really two of the best guys ever played for the Mets, and hope we can raise some money. It goes to charity, you know. I mean, it's $20 a ticket, but a lot of it will go to the funds which you guys want to do. So you guys do a good game. No fights, no.
No, we're not the hockey team. We're not those
Let
guys.
me ask you one thing. You mentioned how many other different sports? Is there boxing, hockey? I mean,
If there's a sport, we probably have a team for it.
Yeah.
That's on
Really?
both sides. Yeah.
We actually, the police department now has a unit. It's called the sports unit,
right.
and we have motorsports. We have judo. We you name it. We have.
Really? I think-
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Same here. Everything from golf, CrossFit, basketball, skiing. I'm pretty sure there's a team for everything on this job.
There's just police. There's no like the Port Authority. It's just you guys. I mean, it's no other agencies have that, do they? You guys are the only agency have these rivalries, right?
The rivalry, the longest running and most intense, probably us.
Yes.
But there are other agencies. I mean, I believe corrections does have a team, and the court officers do have a team. And you know,
But
with
there's-
respect to them, when we play them, it's just another game. With these
Yeah.
guys, it's the furthest thing from it.
You know, one of the things, not to blow our own horn, I mean, one of the things I'm proudest of too is after 9/11, we wore the hats for everybody, and I can't tell you how much I got a call from I think the court officer lost 4 people in 9/11. My memory serves me correct. Got a call from the wife of and she was so appreciative of wearing the hats, and we were the first team to do that, you know, and the MLB at that time didn't want us to do it because, you know, we can't sell fair, and our players refused not to take it off. You know, they wore it, and we were at the court office, the EMTs, the K9 unit. I mean, that's one thing I'm most proud of. Do you guys remember that from the
I
beginning?
remember that clearly. It was nice to see those 4 letters, you know, on the Met player's head representing, you know, our departments and showing us, you know, the honor of, you know, and recognizing of what we went through, the
I
sacrifice.
think we were a hat for every agency you lost somebody.
Yes.
We're 9 or 10 different hats, and
Yes.
and we kept it up. And you know, in other teams, again, you don't do this to players, but I'm proud that we were the first. You know, when we had the, you know, we turned Shea Stadium into a recovery area, and I'm just proud of what I was happy. You know, in my time here, we won the World Championship playoffs, but the thing I'm proudest of what we did. That 2001 team did, you know, it puts on my tombstone.
I remember that clearly.
Yeah,
with
that would
Bobby
be-
Valentine and
Yeah.
John Franco and those guys.
Yeah,
you
they
know,
got it. You know,
yeah.
and David Wright picked up that legacy. You know, and that's why I think it'll be fun. Listen, wish you all the best. You know, have a good game.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you
I'll
very
be
much.
there
Appreciate
watch-
that.
I'll be there rooting you guys on. And again, $20 ticket. Hope you come out and see these guys play good causes. Helps a lot of people. Hope we have a good game on August at 7 o'clock at Citi Field.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
guys.